to the Cocco channel and to another retail horror story. We are going to get back to me as a customer, and this story involves Jess. She's going to be so mad at me for telling this story, but it's so funny. Okay, so her and I, if you guys don't know, Jess is one of my best friends, and her and I met when I was 20, and she was only, I think, 19, and so... we worked at Converse together, which, if you guys remember, is in like this big, huge shopping center, right? So her and I, you know, are getting closer and closer, and so we're like, let's get our ears pierced. We wanted our second hole done, you know? And I think Jess was like a little bit more like, not prim and proper, but like clean and innocent, you know what I mean? Like, she's only 19, she can't, like, she doesn't really drink or anything like that. To whereas I was like 20, I think I was 21 at this time, and so I was like a party girl. I have tattoos, I had, you know what I mean, piercings. I had my lip pierced. I had my web underneath my tongue pierced, which is really random. And so like, I'm all about like tats and piercings, and you know what I mean, I'm a cool kid. And so I don't have my second ear hole done, and I've been wanting to do it for a really long time, and so did she. So instead of being smart and going to a tattoo parlor, which is where you should get piercings, we went to Claire's. That is our first mistake, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, unless you're taking like your little girls there, you know what I mean? But if you can, go to tattoo parlors, because that's where they are like, you know what I mean, experts at piercings. And anyways, they don't use a piece of plastic gun to do it. So Jess and I go in there, you know, and it's really random, but in this Claire's, there's a older woman working, which just seemed so out of place for like a Claire's boutique. Like, I'm talking like older, like in her 60s, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying like you have to be young to work in a mall or anything like that. It was just so weird and out of place, you know? So she's the one who's working the piercing it literally is like a little cabinet, you know what I mean? That you sit down in the chair right next to it, and that's where they have like all their supplies and stuff. And so we're like, all right, we're gonna do this. And you know, Jess is like terrified of needles, terrified. So she's like, I can't do it. I was like, I'm going to go first, and then you're going to go after me, and it's going to be fine. And she's like, okay. So, you know, I'm like Brittany Badass sitting down in the chair, and the lady, you know, marks them, and she's like looking back and forth, and she's like, do those look even? And I was like, I don't have a mirror in front of me. So I was like, yeah. You know what I mean? If I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have had my little accident. If you know what movie that's from, leave it down below, and we'll be best friends. So anyways, so she like gets the gun and, you know, does it, and I'm like, ooh. Wasn't the most pleasant experience, you know? And I get up and look, and I don't know, I don't even wear the second hole anymore because they're so uneven. Like, it's embarrassing almost how uneven they are. I wish that I was right now so you could see, but I'm fully admitting that they are completely uneven. So I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do about that now, you know? So it's Jess's turn, and so she sits down, and she's like, you know, she's kind of getting nervous, and I'm pretty sure we were holding hands through both of ours, like squeezing, you know what I mean? Like when the pain came, like, so, Jessica gets one done, right? And she like, you know, so then the lady, the lady goes to do the second one, right? And the gun is stuck on Jessica's ear. The gun gets stuck, okay? And so what Jessica didn't see was that the lady is like trying to unstick this gun hanging, you know, she has the needle through her ear and it's stuck there, you know? And so the lady's like trying to get the gun unstuck, and this little piece of plastic breaks off, and literally, I swear it was in slow motion. This piece of plastic flies off and hits her right in the face. I can't remember if it was her eye, but I know it hit her face. And so I lost it. I started laughing so hard, and Jessica is yelling at me like, stop laughing! But I wasn't laughing that the gun was stuck on her, because that's like a really scary situation. I was laughing that this piece of plastic hit this lady in the face. And so I was like laughing, and Jessica was screaming at me. She was like, stop, but she like couldn't move at the same time. And so she was like looking over at me like this, like, stop laughing, Brittany. Like, it was so funny. And I forgot about that story completely until just a couple days ago. I was like thinking about my holes and like how uneven they were, and that story like came back to me, and I was like in the middle of like dead silence by myself, like busting a gut, you know what I mean, just laughing. And so I was like, I definitely need to do that story because it was so funny. And this is probably one of the shortest stories ever, but Jessica and I definitely remember that day and will for the rest of our lives. And I have the evidence of it with uneven ear piercings on my second hole. So I am thinking about going and get my, is it called Daith? It's supposed to help with migraines, so I think I'm gonna go do that. But again, best advice from me to you is go to a tattoo parlor. For sure. Don't go to Claire's or icing or any of that. Because a lot of them, like, you know what I mean, like, are just not trained. And I'm not saying, like, it may have changed since then. Mind you, this has been, like, almost 10 years ago. Oh, yeah. It's been like 9 years, so maybe you have to be more qualified now, or I don't know, you know what I mean? So no disrespect to anybody who works at Claire's and is like an expert at piercing ears. It's not like that. I'm just, the lady that we had, it was just like, oh my gosh, it was so funny. It was so funny just thinking about it now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I hope you enjoyed this short little retail horror story and you got a little laugh out of it. If you are new, hello and welcome. My name is Brittany Cocco and you are watching the Cocco channel. Please subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
I swear, it was in slow motion. It like, oh man.